Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to be back on YouTube. I took about a month off to hang out with this little cutie right here. And we are just wrapping up, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look at, he sneaks in at one point, just give you a little spoiler. I'll give him a little kiss on the cheek because he's so cute. So we wanted to say thank you for being here. And today we're going to teach you how to do some Christmas makeup. Is that right? You think this looks Christmassy?
Yeah, I love it.
He loves it. See, I did good. All right, well, if you want to learn how I got this look, please keep on watching.
So jumping right into it, I'm going to moisturize my face with the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion and make sure my skin is nice and smooth. And then I'm going to start filling in my pores with the NYX Pore Filler in my forehead, around my T-zone, on my nose, anywhere where I have larger pores that I want to look very smooth with this makeup. And I'm making sure that I'm kind of pressing it in to really fill those pores in. Next thing I'm going to do is prime my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And I'm going to spritz that all over my face. You guys already know the drill. And today I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundation. And these are actually two colors mixed together because I didn't have the shade that I needed. And I'm just kind of dotting that all over my skin. And I'm going to use my Real Techniques makeup sponge to stipple that all over my face. And I have to say that this is the first time that I've used this foundation on my own skin. I use it quite often on clients, especially brides or anyone who has really dry patches or rough skin, things like that. This foundation really smooths out the skin and gives a really, really nice finish. And I have to say that I was really impressed after using this on my own skin. I could not believe how good it looked. So it does take a little bit to work it into the skin. It does blend really nicely, but I was making sure that I was stippling a little bit more because I wanted to pick up any extra product because I put a little bit too much on. I could have gone without all of that foundation. So just stippling that in, up and down, like a bouncing motion. And here I am, I'm like, yeah, girl, look at that. That is nice. It has like a nice like sheen to it, not glitter, but you know. Taking my Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, just per usual, because I don't like to switch it up very much apparently, but this is the greatest concealer on the planet. And I'm going to do my highlighting in my normal areas, underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, and then in the center of my face, anywhere where I want my skin to be a little bit brighter, and then in the center of my forehead. And then I'm also going to use this as my eyeshadow primer. And then I'm going to stipple and blend that out with that same Real Techniques makeup sponge. Make sure it's all nice and smooth. And I like to work my way towards my eyes, leaving those last so there's no creasing. Immediately after that, I'm going to set my under eye with the NYX HD powder in Banana. And I'm using a BH Cosmetics brush to do that. And then I'm also using that to set my eyelids so they're primed and ready for for eyeshadow. And this is the Ben Nye Neutral Set Powder, and I'm using that to set my whole face. I'm going to contour using my Kat Von D Shade Light palette, and I'm sad because it's almost gone, so it's time for me to buy a new one. And I am using a tapered blending brush to carve out my cheekbones, define my forehead, and then also underneath my chin and all those places that I normally do. Singing a little Christmas jingle here, why not? Then I'm going to make my nose look a little bit smaller by taking the cool tone in that Kat Von D Shade Light palette on an angled brush and go straight down my nose. This is the Lorac Pro Mega 3 palette, and I am putting the shade Crepe all over my eyelid to make sure it's nice and smooth. And then picking up some of the toffee color that's right next to Crepe, I'm going to start defining my eyes a little bit, using this as my transition color. And I'm using a no-name fluffy brush that I got at a local makeup store. It is a synthetic brush, and it's a dome shape, and it's very fluffy, and it blends out the makeup really, really nicely. So I do this a few times, and I go over it a few times with that same toffee color because I want to slowly build up the color in the transition. I like to start light and then build up the color. I picked this up the other day. This is the 3rd edition BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, and the pigmentation of these eyeshadows is bomb. Like, I'm not even kidding. This is one of the gold colors, and I just sprayed my brush with a little bit of that primer that I used, and I am packing that on the lid. This is the antique gold color that's in there, and look at that pigmentation. This thing literally cost me like $10, and it comes with 120 eyeshadows. It's amazing. And then I am going to deepen the shadow with the maple color that's in that Lorac Pro Mega 3 palette, and this is when we're going to start building the halo eye. And all a halo eye is basically like dark spots on the outer corner, the inner corner, and then it's kind of like connected in the crease, so you leave like a bright spot in the middle of the eyeshadow. So what I did is I started that eyeshadow on the outer corner of the eye, and then I worked some into the inner corner, and I'm just blending that out with a Real Techniques eyeshadow brush. This came in the Real Techniques Eye Essentials brush kit, and honestly it's one of the nicest kits. It is and it's a decent price. It's not too expensive, but there are some other brushes out there right now that kind of have beat Real Techniques in price. I think Morphe brushes and BH Cosmetics are good options. And so I'm just smoothing that into the lid and making sure that it's nice and blended, and then taking that same fluffy brush with that toffee color again, and I'm just blending out so there's no harsh edges. I like my eyeshadow to be very smooth in the transition. So as you can see, it's nice and defined, and then I wanted to deepen up the color a little bit, so I picked up the hickory color that's in the, oh no, excuse me, I used bark. I used bark that's in the Pro Mega 3 to kind of make that gold pop a little bit more. And so I'm just adding a little bit darker color where I had that original warm brown shade. Now I'm going to add a winged liner. This is the Maybelline Gel eyeliner, and I'm using an angled brush, and I'm just kind of mapping out where my wings are first. Easy does it with this. I am definitely not the best wing liner person in the world. It's something that I struggle with, but I'm getting better at it every day. So I kind of just go slow, and I start at the outer corner and just pull inward. And I kind of like take a step back and I look to make sure that they're even, and then fill in along the lash line. I don't like my wings to be too thick because I do have hooded eyes, so I have to be careful that I don't put too much black, so then it would cancel out all my eyeshadow. So using my favorite L'Oreal Carbon Black Mascara, I'm going to put a very thin layer on and take a drink of my shake. And then I popped on some lashes. These are the Allure lashes, and I'll put a link to those down below. I used them in a makeup video a few weeks ago, and I'm just taking the same colors that I used in my transition to sweep along the lower lash line to further define my eyes, and I'm using a smudge brush to do this. It's a very short, stiff brush, so it makes a really nice line. Then picking up that same antique gold color that I have in the center of my eyes, I sprayed my brush with a little bit more of that Smashbox primer water, and then picked some of that up and then swept that into the inner corner. And what I did off camera, I did my brows off camera because I find it's hard to show you that on camera. And adding a little bit of mascara to my lower lashes with that same L'Oreal Carbon Black. I use this every time in every video, but I'm a firm believer if you find something at a good price that you like, keep using it. So I'm using a MAC blush for this. This is, oh my gosh, this is one of their limited edition blushes that came in a set that I had. And it's like a rose gold, like a deep rose gold, and it has a shimmer in it. So any blush that you find that has that color, because I don't think you can get this MAC blush anymore. Using my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Skin Twinkle palette, I'm picking up the cool tone and then just a tiny bit of the gold one that's in there, and I'm going to highlight the tops of my cheekbones, the high points of my face with a Real Techniques contour brush. And I'm just kind of like using a very light hand to make sure that it's nice and blended, because I don't like when highlight looks really chunky, and I think if you load up your brush and then really go at it, you'll end up with chunky spots. So I'm doing this really lightly and taking my time with it. On for the classic Christmas red lip, I am lining my lips with a lip crayon from NYX. It's their Crimson Red shade. I don't know exactly what it's called, but any red lip liner will work. And just outlining my lips. I overdraw them just a little bit. And using the Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm in the shade Stand Out. I am just sweeping that all over my lips. And I am cleaning up the edges with that same concealer I used earlier under my eyes. Hello, we have a visitor to clean up the edges. And my little dude decided to come say hi to mommy while she was filming, so look at him. He's so cute. Oh, and you give him a kiss. He's got red lipstick on his face. Oh, it's so funny. I think it's so cute. That's my dude. And just finishing cleaning up the edges with a brush or concealer brush, whatever you have handy. And there you have it. That's the finished look. That's pretty easy. I think you can achieve this pretty easily at home. This is a little bit more glamorous Christmas makeup, so I hope you liked it. If you like this makeup, please give it a thumbs up so I'll do more videos like this. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel.
Thank you. Please subscribe to my mom's channel. All of you guys, you are great at this.
Thanks, buddy.